But they're talking right now about doing Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul.
I know, I saw that.
Jake Paul apparently wants that fight. And he agreed to, I think it was 99% to 1, where Joshua gets 99% of the money and he gets 1%. You see if that's
the Jake Paul thing. There's a lot of rumors that it says that 99-1 was accepted on his side, but I can't find like where he said it. But just like a lot of Instagram.
Maybe he doesn't care about the money. Like Jake Paul, like probably doesn't care about the money.
Well,
but
he has plenty of money, and if he won, right. Oh my God, if he beat Anthony Joshua, good lord. I mean, that's a big if. Right? I mean, Anthony Joshua, Olympic gold medalist, former heavyweight champion of the world. What he did to Francis Ngannou, like, good lord.
Yes.
Do you want that smoke?
Yeah, I just think it's all about the promotion or whatever. I have no idea what the actual motivation is for that fight's not competitive.
Joe Rogan plunged headfirst into the chaos surrounding this insane matchup discussion, and you could literally hear the disbelief resonating through his voice as he dissected the concept of Jake Paul facing Anthony Joshua.
Not competitive at all.
Well, it's a dangerous fight.
Yeah.
Because Joshua's going to try to make an example out of him, for sure.
And will.
I mean, Anthony Joshua is one of the biggest one-punch KO artists ever.
Yes.
I mean, he's a one-punch fucking night-night guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's a great boxer, very skillful.
Yeah. The Ngannou fight, we all thought it's like Ngannou with Fury. It's like, wow, this guy's in the mix now. He's in the mix. Let's see what happens. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. That's what happened.
Once he gained momentum, Rogan held nothing back. He acknowledged Jake's credentials as a legitimate athlete, someone who competed in wrestling at an elite level and isn't merely some internet personality pretending to be a fighter. However, the instant the discussion pivoted to what would genuinely transpire if Jake entered the ring with a prime, Olympic gold medal winning, one-punch knockout artist like Anthony Joshua.
The AJ Paul news seemed to come to a surprise for many. How close are we to making that fight, Eddie?
Not that close. I mean, there are conversations. There's a lot of hurdles to overcome. But if he's serious about the fight, and if it can get made, there's a very good chance we'll do it.
Is it on Netflix, and what did DAZN have to say of the fact that it made?
One of the hurdles to overcome. But we were going to have an 8-round run out in December. Just so happens it might be against Jake Paul.
Rogan simply laughed and essentially stated, listen, this isn't competitive whatsoever. Until that moment arrives, though, this matchup exists precisely at the intersection of insanity, publicity, and pure spectacle. The exact territory where Jake Paul thrives. And that's precisely when the discussion transitions to the genuine reason this matchup is even registering on Joshua's consciousness. The financial incentive is astronomical. Regardless of your opinion about Jake Paul, the man generates a tidal wave of revenue every single time he puts on boxing gloves. And Joshua recognizes it.
I think it's great for boxing. I think the fight will happen. AJ is 1-0 against these guys that come in to these boxing careers late. So why not? He's a perfect guy to take him out too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And for him, he'd probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than he will fighting anybody else.
The legacy is already cemented. Olympic gold medalist, unified champion, international superstar, but an enormous payday never causes any harm, particularly at this juncture. Following that devastating loss to Du Bois, Joshua endured a challenging period. Discouraged, exhausted, doubting his capabilities. Perhaps a spectacle of this magnitude isn't exclusively about boxing. It's about recapturing that competitive fire.
Mate, it's a great thing, so we can just shut that Jake Paul nonsense away. AJ's gonna knock him out.
Would it be similar, do you think, to the way AJ knocked out Francis Ngannou? Because Eddie Hearn's just said about the rage maybe AJ has.
It'll be worse. It'll be worse.
1 round?
1 round. But if he goes past 3 rounds, we don't know what's going to happen.
Really?
Yeah. If AJ goes in there trying to mess around, trying to show his boxing skills, nah. He's going to go in there and light him out. That's what
reigniting that adrenaline rush once more, and stepping into a massive event where the intensity operates differently. And let's be realistic, if Tommy Fury managed to outbox Jake Paul, then Joshua is virtually certain to send Jake's head flying into the nosebleed section. This confrontation might be unpredictable, it might be tumultuous, but for AJ, it could simultaneously be therapeutic, inspirational, and economically impossible to refuse.
Knocks on your door and says, do you want to fight Jake Paul for 100 million? You're like, you'd be stupid to say no. No, I don't want that 100 million for what would be and will be and should be easy work for AJ. Why are you going to turn down 100 million? Right? So I don't blame AJ and his team for taking the money. I mean, again, These guys are fighters, they're prize fighters. The biggest prize is the money. It's not the belts, people, it's the money, especially when you've already won them.
And precisely when we're analyzing why Joshua's even considering this spectacle. Massive financial compensation, enormous spotlight, and an opportunity to recover from that post-Du Bois disappointment. Suddenly, Tommy Fury bursts into the dialogue like he's demolishing the studio entrance, and he immediately starts delivering verbal blows. He essentially declares, "Listen, if I can defeat Jake Paul, what exactly do you believe Anthony Joshua is going to accomplish against him?" And he's communicating this with that signature Fury self-assurance, the variety that makes you question whether he consumes espresso beverages manufactured from concentrated audacity.
If I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the f*** is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make?
Tommy's laughing, criticizing, and subtly reminding everyone that Jake couldn't overcome him. So, how's he unexpectedly advancing to face an Olympic gold medal juggernaut? And truthfully, he's making a legitimate argument. We're discussing hypothetical matchmaking scenarios, and Tommy's simply shaking his head thinking, "You couldn't defeat me, friend." And I'm not even approaching AJ's caliber. It's ruthless. It's comedic, and it's precisely the type of reality assessment this entire Jake Paul heavyweight fantasy desperately required.
He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. He can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So it's just ludicrous, it really.
And immediately after Tommy Fury roasted Jake so intensely you could virtually detect the burning sensation through your display, we transitioned directly into Mike Coppinger emerging with that urgent announcement intensity like he just evacuated a broadcasting studio engulfed in flames. And you can sense it. This individual is electrified as he validates the absurdity. AJ versus Jake Paul is genuinely materializing. Not theoretically, not in fantasy booking scenarios, but in an actual boxing ring with legitimate gloves and authentic repercussions. And the manner in which he articulates it, you can determine he's partially amazed and partially contemplating if the Athletic Commission requires collective psychological counseling.
Broke the news here a couple of minutes ago that Jake Paul will be fighting Anthony Joshua next month in December in Miami. I know that it's a major business, but still got to give Jake Paul major props, right? He's fighting Anthony Joshua. We saw what Joshua did to the last non-world class boxer he faced, which was Francis Ngannou, flattened him in 2 rounds last year. So I think it's
I mean, Coppinger is essentially informing us Jake transitioned from a Netflix showcase with Tank to Awakening one morning and concluding, you know what? Disregard the preparatory bout. Let me confront a heavyweight demolition machine instead. And somehow it completely makes logical sense because we comprehend why AJ accepted it. Minimal preparation required, tremendous financial compensation, and the variety of low-risk, high-reward arrangement that makes financial advisors celebrate. And observing Coppinger analyze it, you and I cannot resist laughing at how extraordinary this sport becomes. One moment we're deliberating legacy, the subsequent moment we're examining the schedule thinking, wait, this is occurring next month. It's absolutely insane. It's disorganized. It's quintessential boxing entertainment spectacle. And honestly, we're all watching attentively, popcorn prepared, acting surprised when we absolutely thrive on this pandemonium.
Is there a right to question AJ's ambition in the game when he takes fights against Jake Paul?
Sure, I think that's fair for anyone to question, but me personally, I can't blame him because it's a mega payday, and it seems like it's a low risk. I think it's low risk. If Jake Paul surprises us, then fair play to him. And for AJ to get a warm-up fight in, so to speak, and make a bundle of money doing it in a high-profile event, I think it's a win.
And the astonishing aspect is precisely when we're all still comprehending Mike Coppinger releasing that AJ Jake Paul bombshell on us. Boom, here arrives Bisping obliterating the entrance like, oh, you assumed this spectacle had boundaries? I swear we progressed from, is this legitimate? To, alright, now they're simply accelerating through the sport. And Bisping's here deconstructing it like he's providing commentary for a documentary about the planet's most lucrative challenge. We've got Jake pursuing legitimacy, AJ pursuing a tune-up opponent, and all of us pursuing explanations like, how did we progress from Tommy Fury to this situation? You, me, everybody's simply observing the chronology collapse upon itself, while Netflix remains positioned in the background calculating hypothetical streaming revenue. It's like heavyweight boxing interconnected with a summer action film preview. and nobody comprehends if we're supposed to be enthusiastic, bewildered, or contacting technical support.
Given all of that, both men are going to make $92 million each. So forget my opinion. Who gives a damn when you can bank $92 million for having a little move around in a boxing ring? Fair play. You can't on that. The reason I say it's a win-win for Jake Paul is because, listen, if he wins, then he's beating a former heavyweight boxing world champion, certainly one of the best heavyweights of his generation.
But Bisping accelerates completely. And honestly, I comprehend it. He's essentially communicating to us, certainly, the matchup makes equivalent sense as household appliances in water, but if someone presented $92 million to you, you'd be in that boxing ring performing shadow boxing with enthusiasm. And he's absolutely correct. We cannot pretend AJ's not permitted to establish a financial security plan for his financial security plan. We cannot pretend Jake isn't going to transform this into a victory, even if he gets propelled into outer space. And we cannot pretend we aren't watching like it's Rocky versus Thunderlips 2.0. You understand the entire community, we're watching because the chaos represents premium entertainment. Whether it's an authentic confrontation, an exhibition, or a please exercise caution matchup. This event is going to shatter viewership records exclusively from bewilderment alone. And honestly, I'm present for every single moment of the insanity.
Of course, a man that is way bigger than Jake Paul. Of course, it's a win. And if he loses, it's still a win for Jake Paul because he had the balls. He was man enough. He was willing to test himself. He would prove everyone wrong, all his critics, like me. And by the way, I'm not like out there on an island by myself. Everyone says the same thing. And he would potentially prove all of those critics wrong.
And following all that chaos, all that insanity, all that, is this actual reality? Or did boxing stumble on exercise equipment and collapse face first? Here's the conclusion. This confrontation is the ultimate convergence of spectacle, tactical planning, and absolute madness. You and I both recognize this isn't simply another matchup. This is boxing awakening and selecting pure entertainment value. Jake's here pursuing the most significant challenge of his entire existence. Racing toward a confrontation that most professionals wouldn't approach without executing legal documents first. AJ's pursuing a financial compensation so enormous it could finance 3 professional revivals, 2 documentary films, and a premium vacation for his complete family tree. And the enthusiasts are all secured like we're positioned in the primary seat of a thrill ride constructed by individuals who certainly disregarded safety protocols. Regardless of how this concludes, whether Jake astonishes the universe or AJ propels him like promotional merchandise into the upper seating, this event is going to have the entire planet debating, laughing, scrutinizing, and reviewing slow-motion footage like their courtroom documentation. This isn't simply a confrontation. It's an occasion, a narrative arc, a moment you cannot scroll past. And the extraordinary aspect, we adore every single second of it.
There's no way that he loses to Jake Paul. Unless it's an exhibition match. Now, Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua's promoter, came out and said, we are not interested in an exhibition match. We only want a professional rules fight.
And how would it work? Would it be an exhibition?
No exhibition. So we're not interested in exhibition.
So hey, share your perspectives in the comments section. Who's your selection? Which round? And is this brilliant matchmaking or absolute animated absurdity? And never forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, fighters. See you in the next one.